Damn right.
So yeah, it's been a while since I've done a review for TV or a video about TV series. And Peaky Blinders season 4 finished a while back, but I just finished it last week and I kind of wanted to talk about it because it's one of those shows that for the longest time I didn't watch. I mean, Peaky Blinders is that one show where everyone else I knew was watching it, but I didn't watch it. And so I guess over the last couple months, I guess I wanted to sort of jump on the hype train, so to speak, and watch this show. And so I think I started season 1 around late November, towards the end of November, and I just finished season 4 last week. And this isn't going to be a review for the entire series, but I will be mentioning, previous events. But it's going to be mostly about season 4, because season 4 is, in my opinion, the best season of Peaky Blinders, by far. That is because my biggest problem with the first 3 seasons was that there was so much setup and not enough payoff. I mean, they would spend episodes upon episodes just building up this big event, and then when the big event happened, it wasn't anything like mind-blowing. But to be fair, after I've been treated with things like Game of Thrones and The Leftovers and True Detective, it's kind of hard to see any other TV show as, on that level, because I feel like those 3 and other shows as well have sort of become the gold standard for TV, for cinematic TV. And that's why I like season 4 so much, because there's not just talking and people are like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this to that guy, I'm going to shoot him in the face and I'm going to, have him dealt with. There's actually things happening, and there are actually genuine consequences. By the way, this full spoilers here, so I'm going to be talking about the series in depth, so all spoilers, okay? If you haven't seen season 4, you've been warned. Like, from the first episode where John gets gunned down on the spot, I mean, I was like, wow, this is a ballsy show. This just went from like, oh, nice English, crime drama with a bit of some great moments here and there to like full on, like, whoa, I did not expect them to kill John in the first episode. And then Michael gets shot down as well. I mean, what? And it's just such a great way it's just to kickstart the season. And I have to say that by far the best villain of the entire series is Adrian Brody as Luca Changretta. This guy is actually so cool. I mean, it's just so great to see a big actor like Adrian Brody, who's won an Oscar. I believe he's the youngest actor to ever win the Oscar for Best Actor. And he's coming onto a TV show like Peaky Blinders, which already has huge stars. Cillian Murphy, Tom Hardy. And he gives such a great performance in the series. And so does Tom Hardy. I mean, Tom Hardy, who I find to be quite overrated, just because I feel like over the last couple of years, we've had a lot of Tom Hardy, like, overexposure. He's been in pretty much everything, and he's just kind of, like, there, like, he was in Dunkirk, but he was just kind of wearing a mask. He was in Mad Max, but he was just kind of wearing a mask. He was in Dark Knight Rises, and he was just kind of wearing a mask. So it's so great to see Tom Hardy in a role which it's just so cool to see him in. I would liken his performance in Peaky Blinders season 4 to his performance in Legend, which to this day I think is his best performance. Even though that's an alright film, his performance was what made that film so great. But his performance here in Peaky Blinders is great, and I just love his character. I think that his character is really, really funny, even though he may not have written to be funny, but because Tom Hardy's delivering the dialogue so well, it does kind of come off as quite funny and quite comedic. And I like that, because the show, for the most part, can be pretty serious. And I think, again, Tom Hardy has a nice balance of, being quite funny, but also being really, really frightening and, menacing at times. Also, Cillian Murphy, who's just such an underrated actor, again, just gives such a great performance. I mean, Tommy Shelby is just a really, really well-written character. He's really, really smart, but at some points, this is my first problem with this season 4, is that at some points, Tommy Shelby seems like he's too smart. Like, there are certain things that he does where you're like, there's no way that could have gone exactly as planned. It doesn't always feel completely 100% logical, and that was probably my biggest problem with this season. Also, the character of Arthur, I feel like, has gone through a really, really great arc this season, because, with season 3, when he met Linda, and then he sort of became a little bit softer and not as much like the tough brute. And season 4 starts off with him being like a farmer and stuff, and then he, turns into the badass that we know and love. And so I like his arc. And, the character of Linda, I thought had actually a lot of great things to do this season, because in season 3, when she was introduced, I thought she was kind of annoying, whereas now she's actually quite, she's a pretty good character. The same cannot be said for the character of Polly, though. Seasons 1 and 2, I thought Polly was my favourite character, but now she really, really just, I don't really know what they're trying to do with her. It's weird, and I didn't really like the direction they took that character in. Overall, I feel like the character work of this season is really, really good. There are a couple of new characters introduced that I didn't think needed to be in here, like that woman who like I forgot her name, but she was like that woman who was there to start the riots and the strikes. And I'm just like, why is she there? But aside from Adrian Brody, there are some really, really great new characters like Aberama Gold, played by Aidan Gillen, Littlefinger from Game of Thrones with that hair. And I love when he walked in, Tom Hardy was like, the first thing you do when you see a guy like that with hair like that is think, have I made a fucking mistake? I love that line so much. And I have to say that this is the best looking season of Peaky Blinders, and it's also the most well directed. I mean, this season out of all the seasons has the most like gunfights, the most shootouts, the most action, and I like that. But yeah, it's really, really cool. I love how like one of the episodes, like episode 5, I think, just starts off with this like 15-minute long chase scene slash gunfight between Cillian Murphy and Adrian Brody. That was so cool. Or the last episode where like they're walking in that boxing match and there's that blue lighting. I just love that so much. It's like it feels a lot more expensive and it feels a lot more cinematic, and I really, really like that. My biggest problem with this season easily is the fact that basically after Adrian Brody gets shot and Tom Hardy gets shot, the show dies. There's about 20 minutes left of that and that section I hated. I just thought it was so stupid. They should have just ended with, you know, Cillian Murphy just shooting Tom Hardy and then just walking away and cut to black. That would have been so perfect. The rest of that was just so unnecessary. I hated every moment of that. It was just stupid. I went on my phone and I just kind of listened. And he becomes an MP. Like, why? What? Like, what kind of... I don't understand that. I really don't. That was my biggest problem. But aside from that, Peaky Blinders Season 4 is pretty damn great. It's pretty damn great TV. Not the best. There are far better shows you could be watching, okay? Like The Leftovers, which is the most underrated show of all time. Or Big Little Lies, or whatever. Just Peaky Blinders is still a great show. Peaky Blinders Season 4, this is the best Peaky Blinders has been, except for that 20-minute ending. And I'm going to give this season an A-. Guys, thank you very, very much for watching. It's been a while since I've done a video. I feel like from now on, because I'm at school, I'm probably going to do one video where I'm talking to the camera a week. So one video a week every Sunday, probably. Because I am at school and it's harder for me to film. And I will be keeping up with, like, if there's a trailer, I'll do a trailer reaction. If it's a big trailer, I'll still do, you know, trailer mashups every, you know, week or every 2 weeks or something like that. But yeah, I'm going to have to sort of dial it down on the video making because I am at school and because I do have a bit of work. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.